How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I'm essentially just going to show you the easiest way to achieve all your goals without hustling and struggling, right? I know it's 2025, the hustle culture is here. You got to work hard, you got to grind, you got to do this, you got to do that. But in reality, you don't. You don't have to hustle, you don't have to struggle, you don't have to grind, right? Struggle is not natural. Effort is natural. Effort is required, right? Struggle isn't. If you're struggling, that means you're taking the path of most resistance, right? Excuse me, when you take the path of least resistance, you can get from point A to point B easily, right? You guys remember Pythagoras theorem, right? From school, you remember that shit? So A squared, B squared, C squared, what the fuck does that mean, right? If you want to get from point A to point B, instead of doing the L, you can go straight through the hypotenuse, right? I think that's what it's called. Bro, look, school is helpful now, right? So the path of least resistance is going to take you to your fucking goals, right? So the reason I'm making this video is because I've been making a lot of mindset videos, right? Talking about operating from your higher self, how to achieve your goals. You know, you got to do discipline, this, that, blah, 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 right? Now I'm just going to break it down for you, right? I'm not going to put this on my IG. I'm just going to literally only for YouTube. I'm not going to put this anywhere else because this is secret gem just for the real G's, right? So the easiest way to achieve all your fucking goals without hustling and struggling. You want your dream women? Got it. You want your dream car? Got it. You want $100 million per year? Got it, right? The X factor here is time. And as you can see, these two are my OG buddies. Yeah, like I went to school with both of them. If you guys know them, you know them. If you don't, you don't, right? I see them in my dreams every day, bro. You know what I mean? Now, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But this here is my G, Lao Tzu. And this is my other G, Mahatma Gandhi, right? Now, here is why they are so important, so crucial to what I'm about to break down here, right? I'm borrowing authority here, 48 laws of power, right? I'm borrowing authority here, right? So the reason I'm doing that is, let's read their quotes. They have very similar quotes, right? Let's start with Lao Tzu, Mr. Old Chinese man. This man was a G, right? All right? So watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny, right? Where does it all begin? It begins with your thoughts. That's where it all begins. You control your thoughts, you control your fucking destiny, right? Because we're put on this planet with free will. We can do whatever we want, right? Now, Maji Mahatma Gandhi, right? Let's see what he has to say, right? Your beliefs become your thoughts. Now he added a little bit. He added that your beliefs become your thoughts, right? He says your thoughts become your words, but he says your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny, right? So again, what is similar about both of these guys, right? Okay, let's see one thing. Yeah, Lao Tzu, D.O.B., right? When was he born, bro? 571 BC. This dude old as heck, bro. This dude old as hell. Mahatma Gandhi, D.O.B., right? 2nd of October, 1869, bro. He's old as heck too, bro. Both these dudes are old as heck. Timeless wisdom here. 571 BC, bro. Like I was in another life, bro. I was reincarnated as Genghis Khan or something, bro, at this time. I don't know. But the main point here, what I'm trying to say is it all starts with your thoughts and your beliefs, right? Now, how can you get to where you want to get to? How can you get to the point where, you want 1 billion women? You got it, bro. You want a private jet? You got it. You want a house in the Balkans? You got it, right? How can you get there? It's simple, bro. The only way to get from your present to your dream is you just got to watch these two things, brother. Your beliefs and your thoughts, right? Because in the present, you have a certain set of beliefs and a certain set of thoughts, right? In your dream, you have a certain set of beliefs and certain set of thoughts. What I mean by this is the person you are today, who's broke, no women, whatever it may be. Maybe you're not broke, maybe you don't have women, maybe you're at 10K, you want to get to 100, maybe you're at 100, you want to get to a mil, whatever it may be, right? Your dream is you have the car, you have the fancy car, the nice women, restaurants, bro, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want, you have it there, right? The only difference between your present reality and your dream reality is your beliefs and your thoughts, right? Maybe your present reality thinks that, you can't get a 10 out of 10 girl without having a perfect body. But your dream doesn't even have a perfect body, but he has a 10 out of 10 girl, right? Because that belief is gone, right? Maybe your present moment thinks that you have to work 12 hours a day to make $100,000 a year, right? But maybe your dream only works 6 hours a day and makes $1 million a year. You don't know. So it's the beliefs and the thoughts, right? It's because when you think that you can do more by working less, your mind will find ways for you to get more done by doing less. Essentially, that's how it works. So if you want to get to your dream, whatever it may be, what you need to do is map out your beliefs and your thoughts, then your current beliefs and your thoughts. And then what you got to do is you got to think, hey, if I had $1 million in my bank account, how would I be thinking? Like, bro, if you have $1 million in your bank account and your first thought is to spend 100,000 at the club, you're an idiot, bro. Right? I mean, that's okay. You can do it. You can do it. But just remember, if you have $1 million and you're spending 100,000 at the club, that's 10% of your income, right? And I don't think that version of you would do that, right? He wouldn't spend 10% of his income blowing money on that because he'd spend a lot of his time working and he'd be disciplined, right? So, for example, you got to figure out what type of qualities your dream version of you actually, encapsulates, right? So you have to become this man to have that life, right? That's why you see a lot of lottery winners. They win up to $20 million, and then after they win $20 million, they lose it all. Why? Because they won everything, but their beliefs and thoughts were still here. Or it's like when you're trying to lose weight, like if you're a fat fuck and you weigh like 100 kilos, you get down to 90, and in like 2 months you're back to 95. You're back to 100. Why? Because your beliefs and your thoughts were still the same as your present moment. Even though you lost the weight, you were still thinking like a fat cunt. Right? I'm saying that because I'm like a former fatty too, bro. Like I ate a lot. And the second I changed my beliefs and I thought, wait a minute, I don't need to finish all the food on this plate, bro. I can put it back in the fridge and eat it later. Right? I'm full now. I don't need to eat anymore. Right? Same with that, right? So that's the thing, right? It's your beliefs and your thoughts that ultimately shape your destiny, right? As my G's here said, right? I don't want to keep this video too long. It's already 6 minutes long. But the X factor here is time. Right? So let's say you change your present moment, you change your beliefs, you change your thoughts, now you're acting in alignment with your dream. What does that mean? That means you're acting in alignment with your beliefs and thoughts of your dream outcome, right? For example, if you're someone who's earning 5K a month and you want to make 10K a month, you got to ask yourself, how differently would I be moving if I was someone who was making 20K a month? What if I was making 20K a month? How would I move? Maybe I would add a certain automation system into my lead generation, right? How would I, what does the version of me that is at 10% body fat, ripped, what does he do? How does he eat? He probably eats at a deficit, right? Then you map out what he would eat. He'd probably eat whole foods. He'd probably walk every day, right? He'd probably go for a swim here and there. So let me do that right now. Right? And it's just like the time factor is if you just go to the gym one day and you do your diet, you do everything, you're not going to get ripped in one day. It takes time, right? Because the physical reality takes a while to catch up to the mental, to the subconscious reality, right? So essentially that's it. The easiest way to get to achieve all your goals without hustling and struggling is just controlling your beliefs and your thoughts. That's it, bro. Anyways, I want to keep this video short, below 10 minutes, because I know you guys have horrible attention spans, right? So because of that, I'm going to keep it there. If you have any more questions about that, just let me know on Instagram, Facebook. Look, I'm not a coach. I'm not here to coach people, bro. Like I genuinely don't like doing that. I don't even have a program or a course or nothing like that. This is just the shit I talk about every day to myself. I meditate, I journal, I do everything, bro. So I visualize whatever it may be, right? And visualization is a huge thing, bro, because if you can visualize your dream, if you can visualize the life that you have in the future and then act in alignment with that, thinking like, hey, what would the $10 million earning, $100 million, the version of me that earns $100 million per year, yeah, how would he start his day? He probably has a huge team that he needs to lead, so his mind needs to be sharp. So what does he do? He probably doesn't drink. He probably doesn't go out partying because he has to run a $100 million business, right? Maybe he goes party once a month, right? On a special occasion, he gets fucked up. That's cool, right? One day down doesn't mean your whole life is over, right? But that depends on what is it that you want to do. If you don't like partying, cool, don't party, bro. Like go for a hike, go for a walk, whatever it may be, right? However you want choose to get your dopamine, right? So essentially what I'm trying to say here is the only way to get from your present to your dream is to understand what your actions would be when you are in your dream, and then understand your thoughts and your beliefs, because your thoughts and beliefs determine your actions. So change your beliefs and your thoughts in the present moment and you'll get to your dream outcome. And this is the easiest way to do it without struggling, without hustling, without anything. The only effort that you need to put in is your thoughts and belief, because it's effort, bro. Reprogramming your brain by yourself is not easy, but it's possible, right? Anyways, that's it for today's video. 10-minute mark, almost there. But anyways, peace out. If you guys want any more information, just let me know on Instagram. And other than that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.